Hi, my name is Sawyer Smith, and this is my HRA 310 capital budgeting simulation video. So to start out with, I'd like to show you that my APV for this project was 589, which I know is kind of low to start out with, but I'd like to say that after I show you which projects I invested in, you'll see why it is a little lower than it should be. To start out with, though, I'd like to say that I invested most of my revenue came from the retail side of it, but most of my cash flows came from the licensing side, as you can see from these graphs. On this page, I really just looked at this right here, which is the revenue, and as long as my revenue was increasing each year, I was pretty happy with how everything was going. Now we'll look at the income statement and the balance sheet. So for the income statement, this shows what our future projections are compared to what our current is, and earnings before taxes. Each year, exponentially afterwards, my earnings will increase pretty significantly, which is shown by the projects I invested in. So the projects I invested in, I didn't always go for the ones that had the shortest payback period. I really invested in the ones that had the highest internal rate of return and the highest profitability index. I tried to keep everything above 4. And as you can tell down below, my net income is rising exponentially throughout that. My total net assets, along with my assets, yes, they might take a dip here in 2015, but then they rise exponentially throughout 2024, which is really good. For my cash flow statements, you can sell, again, yes, they are rising exponentially afterwards. Where my cash flow for operations is in 2024 would be $66.92, and I'm losing only $26.41 from investments. So that's actually really good. My financial analysis shows just all the tracks and my investment shields, my discounts, my distribution factor, really each year afterwards. On my project details tab, you can scroll through and see each individual project I invested in. As you see here, that actually the amounts that I invested in and the amounts that I didn't invest in were about equal. I really tried to not use my whole budget each time because I felt that might be counterproductive. I was really trying to invest in the projects that I felt would do the most, would bring back the most money, even though the payback period might be longer. I tried to keep my discount rates between 4.5 and 5 just because I felt like I was going to make the money anyways. I might as well get them low. And that also increased my net present value and my internal rate of return by dropping those discounts to 4.5. Here it shows my income statement, and this shows my income statement per year that we were doing it. And as you can tell, the 245 was what I started at, and then at the end, my net sales was 418. So I've continued to gain money each time. And that's really what you really need to look for. And then I would show you my Decide tab and show you how I scroll through everything. But for my Decide tab, what they have is they had the internal rate of return and net present value right here, or net present value, internal rate of return, and our profitability index. And I would filter out the projects I didn't want by having the top profitability index and top net present value at the top of my list, so that way I know which ones I should invest in. And since retail was my highest, let's look at our retail. For our retail, this is earnings before taxes and interest. And since 2009, I have quadrupled my earnings before interest and tax, which is amazing. And like I said earlier, if my years would keep going, I feel that it would skyrocket even more than what they are showing it as, which is really good. Let's go back to the dashboard here and finish it up. So So thank you for watching my capital budgeting HRA 310 simulation video. My name is Sawyer Smith. Thank you.